Hey guys, and welcome back to the internet. Probably for the last time. Now I know for most of you that this is just another channel that you click on every once in a while, and once it's gone you won't even miss it. But for me, this channel has been pretty much my whole life for most of 2019. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to just take a look at the whole story of this channel from start to finish. Talk about all the things I learned in the process, and maybe let you know where I'm going next after this. Now I actually started this channel like on New Year's. You know, I'd already worked on a few different YouTube channels last year, and I wanted to start something new. And when I first started this channel, it actually had nothing to do with Reddit. When it first started, this channel was called The Dry Imposter. And the whole premise of the channel was that I was going to, review YouTubers while imitating them in their video format and style. And I actually put quite a bit of effort into getting it started, but I quickly realized that it probably wasn't going to go anywhere and it wasn't very sustainable. So I just kind of scrapped that idea and I renamed the channel I Don't Know What This Channel Is About. And I had a few videos of gaming or other things or rant videos. I mean, none of that stuff is even still on the channel today. But that was kind of just me experimenting with what I felt like putting up on YouTube. Anyways, fast forward to February, and I noticed a channel called r slash just exploding out of nowhere. I mean, obviously, all he was doing was reading other people's stories off of Reddit. I mean, I was looking at his analytics, and he was just growing faster than any channel I'd ever seen. And then I looked around and I saw 6 or 7 other channels doing the exact same thing, all starting at the same time, all just getting insane growth. So I thought maybe I'll try something like that. So I took this channel, I removed all the videos that were on it previously, and I just started reading people's stories. And that's when the channel became Imagine If the Internet Was Real. It was kind of just playing off all those people that anytime they hear all these stories on the internet, they're like, oh, these stories are all fake. There's no way any of these stories are real. And so it became a really ironic saying that has so many different meanings, imagine if the internet was real. Imagine if these stories that I'm telling did actually happen. And welcome back to the internet, even though it's not real. And I could make it sound like this channel is really deep and has a bunch of hidden meanings, but really it was just kind of being weird and somewhat relevant. I wanted to sort of set myself apart from the others. They were all reading Reddit stories, so I was like, well, maybe I'll try starting out with 4chan stories or different subreddits to, be different from the rest. And that went on for a few weeks, and then I started to experiment doing different Reddit stuff. But anyway, more time went on. My new videos still were only getting maybe a couple hundred views at best. But then one day, I uploaded my video, just like any other video, just expecting maybe a couple hundred views. And then suddenly I just started gaining 10 to 20,000 views per day. I mean, that was my first real taste of winning the YouTube lottery, where it just starts putting your videos in recommended, and then you just take off from there. Now, if you actually go back and watch the videos from this time, they were not that good quality compared to what I have now. I mean, I never showed my face. The background video, I had already developed the bouncing logo, but it was my old style, and so it didn't look very good. I didn't sound that great. I wasn't that good at actually narrating or commenting on things back then. But yeah, I was actually just riding this wave. I was doing really well for myself. I went from getting a couple hundred views a day to then getting 10,000, 20,000, all the way up to about 50,000 views per day during my peak. I mean, I was really trying to improve the channel any way I could, change the background, change any graphics I had with it. And I kept thinking, wow, if I just continue growing at this rate, I'm going to be a millionaire by next year. So as my subscriber count was growing a few hundred a day, I was getting pretty close to 10,000 subscribers. Which is when I decided that would be a good time to do a face reveal. I still thought it was funny just how many comments there were when I finally showed my face. And everyone was just like, huh, you don't sound like you have long hair. And I'm just like, well, my voice didn't change as my hair got any longer. Now, I'm pretty sure my face reveal had nothing to do with my channel declining. I think that it was just that there was a huge trend for a while, and then over time, people started to lose interest because the stories got really repetitive. And there was just way too much of it all over YouTube, so of course my views started to drop. Even r slash's and all the other channels, their views started to drop. A lot of channels gave up right there and then. Some channels switched to other types of content. And as for my situation, like I said, I was at about 50,000 views per day during my peak. And then as I was getting down to 40, 30, about 20,000 views per day, that's when I was like, you know what, I'm only going down from here. I might as well switch over and try something else. And that's when I made my big video of saying, I'm not doing stories anymore. I'm going to switch over and do other types of content. Which turned out to be a pretty massive disaster. So I found out pretty quickly that these story videos are one of the easiest things you can make on YouTube. Because once it got down to it, I was now forced to come up with a new video idea every day or every couple days. So I was putting in 3 or 4 times more work per video, and yet I was getting 1/10 of the views on the videos. So it became very demoralizing because I was like, well, I just threw away everything I had. I was making easy videos and doing just fine for myself, and then I decided to switch over, do something else, and basically threw my whole channel down the drain. So of course, after a couple weeks of that, I decided to jump back into stories, hoping to sort of salvage the channel a little bit. And while I did gain quite a few viewers back at that point, it was no near what it was before then, and it just kept going down from there. So at this point, I was getting kind of just burnt out on the Reddit stuff. I was uploading a little bit less frequently, not quite 7 days a week. So I started working on that YouTube Analyzed thing, where I would make videos about YouTube, and that's when I started the whole YouTube word list. Anyway, to cut to the chase, I really just kind of dug myself into a hole that I couldn't get myself out of. Because no matter how much I tried to improve my videos in any way possible, you know, whether it was better graphics or just better commentary or finding better stories, like, my views just kept going down, and there was pretty much nothing I could do about it. I was just not getting recommended enough. And I'm also just getting really tired of making these videos. I mean, as of right now, I have 237 videos on this channel. I'm pretty sure it became a little more apparent and obvious over time that I wasn't really enjoying myself, which very likely also contributed to my numbers falling even more. So anyway, fast forward to this month, actually. That video on YouTube Analyzed about the whole word list thing actually just completely blew up. It had accumulated about 30,000 views over the course of 2 months, and then out of nowhere it just started getting recommended to everybody and went from 30,000 to 1.1 million over the course of about a week. So that's probably going to be where I continue my YouTube journey for now, at least for a little while. I've actually tried making a few Reddit videos on this channel over the past few weeks, but like, I can't even get through them sometimes. So like, my whole process of making videos for this channel is like, okay, I'll go onto Reddit, I'll screen cap a bunch of stories, and then I'll have them all like ready to go, and then I'll record myself reading them, and then I go through the whole editing process, and then I create a thumbnail and a title and, you know, do all the back end stuff. But like, I would go onto Reddit and there would just be like nothing that great on the front page, like not enough to like make a whole video out of. And so like, I would screen cap the stories, and then I would pull out the camera, I'd start recording, and then I'd be reading through a story, and then I'd just have to stop and be like, this story is so bad, I can't even finish it. And then like, I would just delete it and go on to the next story, and then be like, this one is just as bad. And then at some point it's just like, well, I've already cut out like half the content for this video, now there's like nothing left, so I mean, I guess I might as well just scrap the whole video. So that's happened more and more over the past couple months, and I've just been getting more frustrated with it. I mean, I've said this before, but like, the stories getting posted onto Reddit are just not that good anymore, because most people who had a good story to tell already told it back when it was a big trend. And now all that's left are the few people just like trying to get some attention, and like, you're reading these stories and you're like, this isn't a good story, just why bother posting this? So yeah, I'm all done telling Reddit stories, and I actually feel very relieved about that. I've burnt out on these like at least 3 or 4 times this year, and I'll usually just take a break for a couple days or weeks and then come back to them. But I think this is the time that I leave for good, because at least in the past, I would take a break from them and do something else, but then my numbers would plummet, and then I'll be like, oh no, I need to give people what they want so that I can actually, you know, make some money off of this channel still, because this has been my job for most of this year. But at this point, pretty much nothing I do can even bring back any viewers, so even selling out's not an option. So here's some things that I learned over the course of this year. 1. Any video on any channel can go viral at any moment for any reason. I mean, that was kind of apparent when I was just making regular videos every day, and then I just made one more that was pretty much the same as all the rest, but then that's what just made my channel blow up. I mean, the way that YouTube's algorithm works, like just deciding to recommend a video to everyone, it's kind of a weird like lottery type game. And it just takes a lot of getting lucky and putting out a video that everybody really wants to click on. The next thing I learned is that no matter how big you get, you can very quickly lose it all just as fast as you got it. I mean, at one point I felt like I was invincible and like the channel was just going to keep growing forever. But trends die, and only the few on top get to stick around in the end. Another thing I learned, which this video pretty much contradicts, is that it's not the best idea to like directly announce that you were going to do something with the channel. For example, like the first time when I said I'm not doing Reddit stories anymore, like it probably would have gone a little better if I had just made those newer type of videos rather than announcing that I was done with Reddit, because then it looked really stupid when like 2 weeks later I'm like, hey guys, I'm back. And there were like a few times where I would say, alright, from now on this is the type of video I'm making. You know, maybe like the Ask Reddit exclusive videos, and I would make those for like a couple weeks, and then I'd be like, alright, nobody's watching these, time to go back to what everyone's here for. I mean, I've definitely learned that just because you have a large following and a high subscriber count does not mean that you can just change content and do whatever you want with it. Because I quickly learned that the people watching are mostly just here to listen to stories. They don't care about like me or any other content that I feel like making. I mean, a few of you really do, and that's awesome that you've stuck around this long. But yeah, in order to not feel like I'm making a huge mistake by making this video, I'm just going to say there's a very low chance that I'll ever make another Reddit video again. There is the possibility that I will upload other things on this channel in the future. I mean, maybe I'll just use this channel to upload cat videos or something. And I'll definitely try to keep you updated on whatever I move on to in the future. As for now, I'm probably just going to stick to YouTube Analyzed. It seems like there's a lot of attention on that channel right now, so I feel like that's kind of what's calling for me right now. But I don't really think I can make any sort of long-term career off of that channel. But I've made lots of channels in the past, and I'll probably make quite a few more in the future. I think YouTube is pretty fun. My problem is that I get burnt out if I do one thing for too long. So that's why I just have so many different channels about different topics. I just get really focused on one thing for a long time, and then I burn out, get tired of it, or I just run out of video ideas and then I just move on to a new type of content. So I'll probably take the next couple weeks to months just trying to come up with my next channel idea. And for anyone who's still interested at that point, I'll let you know where I go. But we're going into a new decade, time to start some new things. Still not exactly sure what type of channel I want to start next, but I have a lot of free time to figure it out. Actually, my favorite video that I ever made on this channel was doing ridiculous things with fireworks. I know that video literally had nothing to do with the rest of this channel, but I think it'd be fun to start a new channel just off of like, you know, doing crazy stunts like that. But anyways, thanks to everybody for supporting this channel. It's been a pretty great experience overall. I kind of gave up on trying to like everybody's comments because I have like over 20,000 comments and I really just couldn't keep going after like 6,000 or 7,000 of them. But that about does it. I'll let Faye finish off this video. Faye, do you have anything to say? Yeah.